Real football might be over, but the offseason, much like the city of New York, never sleeps. We got coaching changes, free agency, the combine, the draft, and tons more action to cover to get ready for the next NFL season. Who's going to be the next rising star? What new coach is going to have the greatest impact? What free agent is going to take your team from pretender to contender? Let us be the voice of the NFL news. As Coach Mike Dubb, the real AG Alex Givens, young RG Robert Garcia, and yours truly, Coach Defense, break down everything from the NFL offseason right here on the NFL Offseason Blitz. Let's go.
I've been to myself, just me lately. I don't need a lot. I've been to myself, just me lately. I don't need a lot. No. Just me and the fam, few friends ain't playing. I don't speak a lot, and I can't stop. And I can't stop. And I can't stop. And I can't stop. I'm that cash money getter, big show stopper. 4 kids having no chain rocker. Make my business, work my business, count them digits, earn them winnings. I see you in my rear view and you been trying. Said you out here doing numbers but you been lying. And you know my little baby been fine. In the crib, bet she do it for the 9-9. I've been to myself, just me lately. I don't need a lot. No. Just me and the fam, few friends ain't playing. I don't speak a lot. And I can't stop.
To all my heavy hitters and lockdown defenders, welcome to the NFL Offseason Blitz. This is the Lockdown Defense Sports Network. I'm your host, Coach Defense. Alongside with me today, the Hit Squad, young RG, Robert Garcia, the real AG Alex Givens, Coach Mike Dubb, and Air Retro DK5, the San Francisco 49ers insider. We're live and direct in the building. Gentlemen, what's happening? What's going on?
The Lockdown Defense Sports Network.
Indeed. Young RG, good brother, what's going on, sir? How you feeling out there? What's good? What's happening? What's popping?
Man, we are in the middle of, barren wasteland of offseason, huh? There ain't much to talk about. Ain't no training camp. Draft is done. Free agency is come and gone. We're in that just funk era right now of the NFL offseason, but that's why we're here to provide you with some much-needed content throughout this offseason.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for. Bring you those fillers for those dry spells. And we all had that dry spells for content and other things. So yes, we definitely are here to bring you the live and direct NFL content, getting you ready for training camp. That is what we're here for today. So we're going to get that popping. Real AG, let's give us good, sir. How you going, good brother? What's going on out there? How you feeling?
Doing good, Coach. Just glad to be here, chopping it up with the Hit Squad yet again. That means football, real football is right around the corner. So
it is in the air. Yes, indeed. It's in the air. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach Mike Dubb, good brother. What's happening? What's popping? What's going on over there in the DMV?
Hanging in there, man. Glad to be here. Like they said, summer's in full swing. We're about midway through, which means training camp is around the corner. So we're ready to lock in and get this thing rolling.
Indeed. Air Retro DK5, good brother. What's happening? What's popping? What's going on over there? Yeah, your first offseason blitz. How's it feel?
What's good? Thanks for putting me onto the team. I'm ready to go. Football season right around the corner, so let's get it.
Indeed, we're gonna talk about the Niners.
Table, baby.
There you go. Starting defense, place to the table. That's right. Let's do it. Let's get with it. So yes, sir, we are here. The offseason blitz is live and direct. We are going to get into some training camp news, some heavy headlines. We're going to talk Niners football. We're going to talk Commanders. We're going to talk a lot of football today. So we're going to bring you live and direct, and we're going to talk about everything under the sun. We're going to get you ready, get you brewing for training camp. We're about 2 weeks away. I think the Hall of Fame teams check in next week, and then everybody else checks in the week after that. So we're literally about 2 weeks out at max before we hit training camp for most teams. So we're getting ready live and direct and getting you going in the right way. So as always, man, we're going to start off the show. We got a hot button topic brewing, and I guess you can call it out of where is San Francisco / Washington in a sense. It is a hot button topic. This is the offseason blitz. So we're going to talk about Brandon Ayuk versus the 49ers. We're going to talk about Myles Garrett, way too early playoff predictions for 2026 and the most overrated and underrated offseason moves. So, gentlemen, so we are going to start with the I guess you can say the latest crash out in the NFL. If you want to call it that. We're gonna talk Brandon Ayuk. Is he gone from the 49ers? How does this end? And it is prime time and place for the Lockdown Diva Sports Network to cover it, because we have 49ers insider and we have a Commanders insider. So we're gonna give them center stage. We're gonna let them talk the forefront of things. So we're gonna get them rolling and get this talked about in regards to, from the 49ers perspective and the Commanders perspective, what we think this is at and where the precipice is and where they're at in this conversation. And then where do we feel like this is going to end? He's going to, be cut by the Niners. He's just going to be on the bench, not getting paid. He's going to end up with the Commanders. I'm going to get both these guys' perspectives. So we're going to talk about it. So DK, you up first. We're going to talk about his current situation, I guess you can say. And in regards to what we think Brandon Ayuk is with the team. Tell me what your thoughts are on that, and then we'll get Mike Dub's perspective, and then we'll go from there.
Brandon Ayuk is not part of the 49ers.
Oh, he's like that?
He's still on there, but I don't bother with that dude. I've been done with him for about 2 years now. So
wow, okay.
Brandon Ayuk, man, it's just a waste of talent. I don't know what he's doing every day with these videos on Instagram, doing these stories and stuff, wearing the Commanders gear and just shouting out Jaden Daniels. I don't even know if the whole Jaden Daniels little back and forth they was doing, was that fake or real? Who knows? Like, I don't know what's going on with him, but I think the 49ers going to end up keeping him, because they don't have to pay him nothing. So they're not just going to release him just so he can go to the Commanders or any other team prior to training camp. They want him to suffer some more. So I feel like they'll probably release him leading up to like the end of training camp when they start cutting people, or around the regular season is when they might do it. But they also saying they might try to like recruit some of his bonus money and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's been a lot going on. But matter of fact, does Mike even want Ayuk on his team now after all this?
We gonna get his take on it. I want you to give us your perspective from where we at now, because he's still technically a Niner. He's on the Niners roster.
Still technically a Niner, but the Niners don't pay. They don't pay no attention to him. They probably just looking at all these videos and just laughing. And John Lynch got to be talking to Adam Peters. That's where Peters came from. So it's just crazy to me that he would be doing this right now.
That's what makes it insane, because he should know that they're friends.
Exactly.
Even if you're not friends, even if you're not friends, technically, you still talk to NFL GMs across the board. They kind of get your perspective on guys before you make a move, right? They kind of give the lowdown of is he reliable? Is he trustworthy? All those good things. They have all those thoughts. So even if they're not good friends, which they are, obviously, you would think that they're gonna have those conversations. So why would you, basically, cut your nose off to spite your face in this conversation? But he's doing it. And maybe it's just a dramatic way of trying to get his release, but there's better ways to do it, in my opinion. But
yeah, even Adam Schefter today said that teams might be scared off of him, and some GMs and stuff is just asking him like, does he even want to play now? So it's just like Adam Schefter, his ears to the NFL street. So if he's hearing that, what that means. Like, nobody knows what's going on with Ayuk.
Right. Yeah, and the only thing he's telling people is he want to play for Commanders. I don't think you really know. That's it's crazy. It is crazy. That's for sure. That's for sure. So your I guess you can say conclusion to this is that by the time training camp hits, where are we going to be at?
I believe by the time training camp hits, he'll be released, because they don't want that headache. Like, they don't want to keep having this distraction. You don't want to keep bringing him up every time, because if he's not getting released prior to training camp and then during the season, he's going to keep releasing video after video after video. I already know. So it's just gonna be crazy. So I figured they keep him until the end of training camp, then go ahead and release him, and then most of the roster spots be filled. So somebody gonna have to bring him in in case somebody get injured. But I don't know exactly what the Commanders gonna do. Like I said, because they definitely need another receiver beside McLaurin. So
okay. All right, Dub, you're up. So tell us, man. He's basically trying to force feed his hand to be a Commander. So what is your take on it? I got a feeling I know exactly how you feel about him, but I want you to tell the world exactly from the Commander's perspective. What do you think about this Ayuk situation? How does it end up?
I wish I could take like the sportscaster debate side of this and argue the opposite of DK, but I just can't. Like I can't sit here and find any reason for us whatsoever to want this guy on our team. Where do I start? It's an old saying that they say the same way you get them is the same way you lose them, right? So, like, say for example, you're dating a girl and she left somebody to go be with you. It's the same thing that you get the same way that you can lose her, right? The same way that he's treating this franchise. Let's not think that he wouldn't treat us the same way if we were to bring him in our locker room and all of a sudden things didn't go his way, right? That's the first thing. The second thing, there's a level of discernment that you want with a professional. There's a level of decision making that you want with a professional. This guy has not shown any of it. He hasn't shown any, down to the fact that I don't know how valuable it is. I don't know the contract details, but I thought I heard something like he could have managed this differently if he just showed up one day to train to like a mini camp or something like that, and then he would have probably got what he wanted and things, all that type of stuff. So just understanding, I don't think he even really understands his contract and understands how the league works, understands voidable years, all those things like that. It feels like he doesn't have anybody in his corner as far as advising him or anybody that even is on his team as far as like teammates to just be like, hey, bro, just chill out. And that's a red flag. If you don't have anybody that can give you a call and just tell you to chill out, then that means that you haven't built any connections with your teammates, or it means that you're not listening to them. Both are red flags. So there's not one thing that I will point to say that we would want him on his team or him being on his team will make us better. Now, of course, the obvious thing is he a good football player? That's what it all comes down to, because winning changes everything. Yeah, there's a lot of good football players in the league. But it doesn't matter if you're not going to be dependable. It doesn't matter if you're going to torch everything that you come in contact with. If you don't have chemistry, if you don't have good decision making, it's just a matter of time before he's going to practice that lack of discernment and have some other issue coming up that's going to take away the focus from the team. So he's not worth the buy-in or the risk, in my opinion. Do we need another receiver? Yeah, we do. But who's to say that he's a bona fide number one anyway? You know what I mean? Like he's shown to be a pretty decent too. He's shown to have a lot of potential. But hey, this guy's not. I don't believe that he would take this from being where we are now to automatically a Super Bowl contender. I really don't. So it's not worth it. I don't see any high end on it. And then of course the whole situation with him and Jaden Daniels. Like, how dumb can you be to broadcast the one player that probably would have advocated for you to be in this building? And probably your only other chance of playing in this league, to be honest with you, would have been, somebody saying, okay, well, maybe he just really wants to play with Jaden Daniels. And then after that, you go in, and it's not even that he had an issue with him, but it's how you go about it. If he was upset with how Jaden Daniels responded to the hecklers or whatever, that's fine. But how you go about it, why would you go to social media? Why would you broadcast everything? That's just not something that you want in your locker room, and that's definitely not something that you want around your franchise quarterback that's, in his third year in the league. Do you really think we're going to choose you over Jaden Daniels? We wouldn't choose anybody over Jaden Daniels. So why would you put yourself against him? And I just don't know what he thinks is going to happen or how he thinks it's going to play out. But I can assure you, I don't want him on his team. I don't want him in our locker room. If he wants to be a fan, so be a fan. That's cool. But there's no gain from bringing him here at all.
Okay, well said. Well said. Definitely. Passionate statements from our commanders inside of y'all. Heard it here first. Yeah, I share a lot of your sentiments. Again, I mean, it's just bad business at this point. For my money, it's a way to go about it. I agree with you. He's not getting the right advice, or he's just not listening to it. He thinks he knows better than everybody else. He just wants to basically, run on emotion in a sense, and just basically do what he feels instead of being smart about it, using his brain and being tactical about his moves if he wants to be somewhere else. Because I was gonna give him a bit of a pass or a bit of grace. When I heard the rumors that he was not feeling the locker room culture in a sense, because there's certain dynamics in the locker room that he wasn't jiving with. Certain people, it was kind of like it's like there's one clique over here that was just about a certain agenda, and he wasn't about that a certain agenda, so he felt like an outcast. You heard that conversation from Devondre Campbell. You heard that conversation from him. So I was thinking maybe this thing has some legs. We don't know. Certain, I guess you can say superstars on the team have certain, political stances that they've taken in a sense. So it may be one of those things, one of those dynamics. And, it was just kind of hush, but he was trying to bring it to the forefront. But even then, even despite all that, the way he's going about it now is just, it's completely and utterly the wrong way to do things, in my opinion. So, yeah, I definitely agree that it's past all of that. So even if that easily has any merit, it's past all that. You've done way more damage than you could have done, to your career, potentially, or your entirety of your NFL career, than worrying about an agenda that's going on in your locker room. So, yes, it's a bit rough for me for that space. So, is there anything y'all both want to add before I grab RG and AG if they want to give anything in addition to this?
Just that Mike Dub, the only real Commanders fan I heard that didn't want him. It seemed like everybody still wanted him, which is crazy. I don't understand what they talking about. Yeah. I've been amazed. They've been on I be on Twitter heavy, so all I see is Commander fans like, nah, we still want him. Let him go. I'm like, come on, dude. Why do y'all want that on y'all team? Why do you want Jaden Daniels?
They're ready to be hurt again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And who knows? That's another thing. Who knows if he's healthy, man? He claiming he's healthy, but the dude ain't played.
He's not mentally. I can tell you that he's not mentally.
Yeah, he's definitely not mentally.
At this point, he hasn't played in almost 2 years, right?
That's what I'm saying. He played almost 2 years. I don't know. Last time we seen him, he was playing against the Chiefs. If I'm not mistaken, that's when he got hurt.
Yeah.
So he has not played since the injury.
What'd you say?
He has not played since the injury.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He has not played since the injury.
Wow. Okay.
So we don't know what's up with him. Yeah. And the main problem is he didn't want to come. He didn't want to train here, and all he had to do was come here, train. You know how when you get injured, you got to come to the facility.
Yeah, you got to show up.
Yeah, he didn't show up. So then, he mad because he didn't show up, which is I'm sure that's in the league policy that you got to show up after you get injured. You got to come to training camp so the trainers can check on you. But he just decided not to show up. It's crazy, man. He was doing all types of stuff, man.
Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah. No, I was saying, and then if I think about the history of the league, when has that ever worked out where a guy forced his way out of a situation into a new situation? I can't think of one where somebody physically forced to, went through all this to get out of a situation. It's never worked. So why would it work for us?
Stop the NBA.
That part. Good point, RG. That's a good point. That is a great point. Even that was a little tumultuous when they tried to do it in the NBA. So yeah, it's definitely not a great strategy at all. And again, if you're whoever advised him to do it or didn't advise him to do it or just not talking to him, period, it's kind of one of those things where I would kind of hearken it to John Morant, where people, above and beyond, in a circle and out of circle, telling him not to do certain things, and he did them anyway.
Just stay out of the strip clubs. Man.
Yeah, exactly. That part too. But even still, just the moves he made, just the things he did, it was indicative of the fact that he just think because he has all the money, he can call the shots and nobody can tell him what to do. That kind of thing. So again, people aren't advising you for their health. They're trying to tell you to help you, and people just don't want to accept that. So that's where, that's what the problem he has, I'm sure, if it's any type of, situation like John Morant was. You see what happened to him. He got shipped to Portland to die, basically. So
unfortunate.
Yeah, so we'll see how he bounces back or doesn't. But again, and your shelf life in the NBA is longer than it is for NFL. So I mean, I don't know. Yeah, again, if he needs help, I think somebody needs to force him to get it, and that's all I can really say about it.
But one more thing, he also has to be reinstated. He's on some type of
reserve retirement list or something like that?
Some type of list. Yeah. So it has to go through the NFLPA just to get him reinstated. So he was on Instagram talking about he didn't even know that. That's the crazy part because he fired his agent apparently. So it's like his headspace is just all over the place because he didn't even know that. So he on Instagram trying to at the NFLPA. He's like, hey, can you help me get off the exemption list? Like, that's just crazy.
How do you not know that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Because you fired your agent.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, we saw it on Twitter, so how do you not know that?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then let me reach out to you guys on social media.
Yeah.
Because I don't
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And he still got that little petty warrant in California for the speeding. So he got to address that too.
What he speeding around in San Francisco 49ers?
Yeah, he gonna record it going by the stadium at like 110 miles an hour. This dude is crazy, man.
I'm laughing, but it's not funny. It really isn't. He needs help.
He's crazy.
He needs help for real. He really needs help. So I hope he gets the help he needs, and maybe just not focus on football at all and just get the help he needs to get himself right.
Yeah, exactly. He need to. Yeah, exactly. He need to go with Puka went.
Yeah, or longer stay something. Yeah, for sure. All right, AJ, you got anything to add to this conversation before we move on?
Yeah, just gonna say I'm excited to see IU in a Chiefs jersey once it's all said.
Oh my God!
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God!
I heard all the complaints. I've got them documented, but yeah, come on.
You think Andy can fix them? First of all, with Eric Bieniemy back in the building, he wouldn't last 2 minutes.
Nah, hell no. No, that was just my little comedic punch.
I was about to ask you something.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, hey, if the opportunity is there, I mean, I'm sure they consider it, but at the same time, there's way too many red flags with it. Like on top of all the off the field issues, I mean, the brass tacks of it is, like we said, he hasn't played in damn near 2 years. Like, I mean, think about how long it would take just to get your game conditioning, game speed, like the feel of the game back. I mean, it's like football is not a sport that you can just decide one day I'm going to go play and ball out unless, I mean, really nobody. There's really no unless with that. There's a lot of training, a lot of other stuff that goes into it, and just the fact that he was not willing to show up at his own team's facility so they can ensure that he's progressing the right way in treatment. Like, who knows what the hell he was even doing for rehab, Exactly. Like, I mean, hell, for all we know, he could have not done anything and just been chilling around, like, playing 2K, just like, hey, I'll get released and then I'll pick it up. And, we're still dealing with the same thing. So it's just, there's a lot of red flags. I don't know who would take them on other than maybe the Raiders and the Jaguars.
You know what?
Maybe the Jets.
You're missing one team, guys. He fits the mold perfectly for what one team is known for, and that's the
Raiders.
Steelers.
Oh, the Steelers. I was going to say the Raiders, but okay.
Diva, wide recircivor who thinks he's bigger than the team.
See, that
was the Tomlin Steelers, though.
Right. That was the Tomlin Steelers, yes.
McCarthy ain't dealing with that.
But even still, they usually get rid of you before you crash out.
Although I could totally see Aaron Rodgers being like, yeah, I met with him. We did some ayahuasca. He's good. Sign him. You know what, Aaron? You're right.
Right.
Aaron, did you say that under ayahuasca or was that sober?
Right. What's funny about this is that we haven't actually seen him physically, like full body. He might walk into this facility. Might walk into the facility look like Adrian Broner. If you see Adrian Broner, you might be looking like him. So,
he'd be looking like those 37U league clips. He played 37U competitive ball.
Right. He got in his training as the last chance you coach.
Like, who the hell is this guy? That's IU coach. We traded for him. That's IU.
What? What? Did he eat at you? Oh man, that's crazy.
Damn, he'd be looking like Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah.
Now being 6'5".
That's a name.
Yeah, that's a name for sure.
The wideness of Kelvin Benjamin.
Indeed, you look like a tight end. So we playing wide receiver. Yeah,
damn, dude. Yeah,
crazy. All right, RG, bring us home. You got anything to add to this dumpster fire that is Brandon Ayuk?
Yeah, man. I mean, there really isn't much else to add to this. I mean, you guys hit the nail on the head and on every aspect of this. I mean, to Coach Mike Dubb's point, I personally think he's out of the league. I think the Commanders were the only team that there was even a somewhat potential remote possibility in hell that they could potentially sign him. And, once he started kind of going at Jaden, I was like, you just kind of cut off your last lifeline potentially to the league. Because to DK's point, who else is going to want him? Nobody's going to want to put up with that kind of baggage, and the thing is too, is like, he's a good receiver. Don't get me wrong. And he's had some great seasons, but it'd be one thing if he was, top 3, top 5 in the league. Like, he's maybe top 10 when he's healthy. And that's a very strong, maybe. He's not even top 3 in his own division. You got Puka and JSN there. I mean, like, that's
Devontae.
And Devon, that's a great
and Mike
point.
Evans now. Don't forget Mike Evans.
You're not even top 5, man. You're probably not even top 5 in your own division. So, I mean, yeah, that just goes to all say that I think his time in the league is most likely come to an end. To your guys' point, he really does need to get some help. You know, this could very well be a case of, you know, and we hate throwing the word CTE around because everybody thinks like, oh, you know, you're just thinking that, you know, because that's the term everybody loves to throw around without kind of really knowing what it is. But to see people change, like, I don't care what anybody says. After that Vontaze Burfict hit, Antonio Brown changed.
He did.
Like, it was a light switch from after that hit. So say what you will about it. People joke, but like, really, I really do hope for Ayuk's sake, like his family, his friends, his inner circle reaches out to him and tries to get him on a better path. Because what he's doing right now, it can only lead to, you know, devastation.
Further destruction.
Exactly.
Indeed.
I'd say too, you know, just with that, like, I think some of it is that's just how he is. And it was fine when they were winning and in the Super Bowl every other year, and you can kind of let some of that work. But then when things start getting bad, it's like, we're not. Cause to me, it's weird that someone who put out at least the resume that he did before he was hurt, there was not any team that even thought about like trying to trade for him. And that tells me that the Niners are like, yeah, you don't want to deal with this. It's not just a disgruntled employee. Let me tell you what this dude does. You know,
that's crazy. That's crazy. So that's the question I want to ask DK before we wrap this topic up. Do you think that when they was talking about the extension conversation, do you think they tried to trade him? And do you think the asking price was too high, or do you think nobody wanted him?
You talking about before they gave him the contract?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they had a trade in place with New England. He was gonna go to New England, but Kyle nixed it at the end, and Ayuk didn't want to go to New England. This was before they, you know, he didn't know what was up with May, and also Pittsburgh was in the running too as well. So
I told you.
You're right.
Was in the running for Ayuk, but they didn't end up pulling the trigger. I wanted them to trade him.
I know. I know. Look back at that, which they had, right?
So they
exactly.
Pittsburgh ended up going with Pittman.
Yeah, it's safer bet. Safer bet. Yeah. At least he's healthy and don't cause drama. Yeah. Okay. All right then. All right. So we'll see. But the overall arching point from my insiders is that neither one of them wants him clearly, and he probably needs to step away from football and get some help.
Definitely.
And that's an accurate assessment. So okay. All right. So there you have it from the Ayuk versus 49ers conversation. So staying in the division, ironically enough, we're going to move over to the Rams. So the Rams made a big splash in the offseason after we bashed them, browbeat them to death about their draft. You know, we definitely had took our turns kicking their backs in regards to what they did in the draft. We just didn't understand it. But just to turn around and because they did great for agency, got McDuffie and a bunch of other pieces, but then the draft didn't make any sense. But then they turned right around and grabbed Myles Garrett of all people from the Browns, and basically revamped this pass rush by trading Jared Verse and some other pieces and picks to garner their ability to compete and ultimately make a big time run at the Super Bowl. So we can go around the room and talk about this particular conversation. And do we believe? And I think I want to start with DK first because he's a divisional opponent of theirs, and get his take on what this means for the Rams. Are they unstoppable now? There's the Aaron Donald rumors. We can touch on that. So are they the front runners now for the Lombardi Trophy, or do you think they have some limitations?
Well, according to Vegas, I think they are the favorites to win. But me being a Niners fan, I'm not respecting them. So I'm going to say
hell no.
And that's why I started there. That's why I started
I'm going to say no, they're not unstoppable. And I hope they do sign Aaron Donald because I want them, when he come on there and they lose, it's just going to be even sweeter just to see him crying.
Okay.
So they got a squad. They picked up what's the guy from the Chiefs? They picked up a couple.
And Watson.
And Watson. Yeah, they they finally showed up that cornerback. That was one of their weakest spots.
Yeah.
So they got a nice little squad. I'm still not sold on their O-line, a little shaky to me. So I'm interested to see how they match that. And I think one of their O-linemen got into some trouble this offseason. So he might catch a suspension too.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too because he just got cleared today.
Oh, he got cleared?
Yeah, no charges gonna be filed. Yeah, no charges.
So he paid him off. Okay.
Oh, he did something.
He did something.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Yes, all alleged.
Allegedly. Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, refer to the tag in the description. Yeah, refer to the tag in the description.
So, I mean, they still got Devontae Adams. They still got Puka. I don't know. We be locking down Devontae Adams for some reason. Even when he was in Green Bay, we be frustrating him. So, I kind of feel like we match up well against them. We still got Trent Williams, and that's Myles Garrett on the other side. So you're going mano a mano with the big boys. So I'm not too worried about that. So I can't get Rams props, man. It's just not. You're not gonna hear from me.
Fair. Come from a true Niners fan. Y'all heard it here first. We understand.
At least you prefaced it. You know?
It did. Right. All right, Dub. What's your take on this? We talked it behind the scenes on this on Sunday, so I'm waiting to hear your take on this because you had some things to say to me about this. So I'm waiting to hear this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it for the other I guess segment that we're doing. But as far as Myles Garrett, well, let me say this: are they unstoppable? They were pretty close. They weren't unstoppable last year. Obviously, they didn't win Super Bowl. They didn't even make it to the Super Bowl. So they weren't unstoppable last year, but they were pretty good team last year. Adding Myles Garrett, I think that does add an extra element to their team. And then also let's not forget about, like DK said, the guys that they added from the Chiefs in the back end and all that stuff. So no team is unstoppable. I'll say that. No team is unstoppable. No team is unbeatable. Everybody can be beaten. They will not go 17-0. So, will they be the favorite? In my opinion, yes, they probably are the favorite to win the Lombardi. Even without the Myles Garrett move, I think they probably still would have been the favorite to win the Lombardi, in my opinion. But I don't think anybody's unstoppable, and I wouldn't put it past anybody finding out how to neutralize that team. But are they going to be fun to watch? Absolutely. Are they, like I said, the front runner? I think so. But it's not like the NBA where you can just automatically crown a team, somebody's going to 73-9 or whatever the case is, or anything like that. So I think it's going to be more competitive than we think, but I do think that they are a Super Bowl favorite, in my opinion.
Okay, there it is. Yeah. All right, RG, what do you think about this trade? Does that put them over the top? Are they the favorites come out of the NFC? What's the deal?
Yeah, they're definitely the Super Bowl favorite as of right now. I think just as the team is presently constructed, you have the reigning MVP in Matthew Stafford. You got arguably the best wide receiver duo in the league with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Plethora of great tight ends in the back there as well. And you know how Sean McVay loves his tight ends. So not one is going to particularly pop, more than the other, but they're all just going to collectively kind of do the same job there. Colby Parkinson, Tyler Higbee, those kind of guys. Talking about it on the defensive side, obviously Myles Garrett makes that defense, along with the other moves that they did, just a complete unit. They are going to be hellacious on both sides of the ball, giving you a nasty pass rush on one side, turning the ball over with that secondary, setting up that offense for some short fields. Not that they're going to need it, because that offense could drive 99 yards if they needed to. I love everything they did. I still just cannot wrap my mind. And I get it. I understand it somewhat to the degree of you're not expecting to be picking anywhere near the top. What was their pick? 14? 13? 13. Yeah, you're not expecting to be picking anywhere near, the top half of the league in the coming years. So they're preparing for the rebuild. But I just think if you're gonna make a move like this to get Myles Garrett, why not pair him with a Ruben Bain or something else on that defense for this year? Like that is the icing on the cake. Not only do you have Myles Garrett and Ruben Bain, but now you also have a mentor to Ruben Bain. And I mean, what better mentor than the reigning defensive player of the year and arguably the best defensive player of this generation as a whole? Why not? like that is setting up for the future. And you can get a quarterback, in the later rounds, a project term, but a dominant defense, a dominant pass rush, and to DK's point, the O-line is a little shaky, but a solid O-line are the keys to winning football games. And I think they have 2.5 of those pieces. I think, like DK mentioned again, that O-line is, a little shaky. So we'll see if it's able to hold up. I think the biggest thing is they just don't have a ton of depth. So if 1 or 2 of those guys go down early, it might be curtains, because Stafford is not mobile by any means. So he needs as much time in the pocket as possible. So that O-line is definitely going to be something to watch. But yeah, they're probably going to be favored in every game. The Rams are definitely right now the favorites. But if you're asking me Rams or the field, take the field.
Okay. All right, AG. Let's talk about it.
Let's not. But no, I think to start just by answering the question, I think that moving for Myles Garrett or trading for him clearly makes the Rams the front runner or the Super Bowl favorite. I mean, they were 4 points away from being in the Super Bowl last year, lost to their division opponent. And, they've had some of their Super Bowl lulls after you win, kind of getting a little gutted. So I think the division itself is going to look different. And the Rams, to me, were a team that was already on the cusp of that and got better without getting really any worse in any other spot. So, I mean, to give up just Jared Verse for Myles Garrett, anybody's making that swap. So they already improved their defense. And, it's a unit that got 47 sacks last year, and they're only going to get, more pressure at this point. They might bring Aaron Donald into it. I think that's more of just like a publicity thing than anything at this stage of his life. But who knows? The dude does train with knives, so he might come out and still be peak Aaron Donald. I don't know. But you couple that. That was the move for Myles Garrett was just the cherry on top of everything they did in the offseason to make sure that their roster got better. That was already championship pedigree. And then I guess to play the devil's advocate to what RG was talking about, they also, saw the opportunity to maybe set themselves up for the future as well without really hitting any sort of lag along the way.
Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm itching to see if this Aaron Donald thing is going to come to fruition, because I was telling Dub, I said that they don't even have to use him on every down because they got young guys to play up front without him having, to play every down and be a 3-down guy, just come in on pass rush situations. But even if he's not, 100% like Aaron Donald we saw when he retired, just give me, some a good effort, and I guess you can say just to be a distraction of nothing else.
Even if he's half. I mean,
half
of what he was.
For all I just said, I think a rotational Aaron Donald is better than any other rotational option that's in the league right now.
Exactly. You said exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, that was going to be my point. So yes. So you're definitely you picking up what I'm putting down for sure. That's definitely the thing. But yeah, if he comes through, then that's going to make it even more formidable up front, especially on pass rush downs. But I'm with y'all about this O-line conversation, because I had to go back and look, and I did just do a quick bit of research and see where they picked at and what was the options available. Because I understand that Fano and Moaga were gone at 13 to pick a right tackle, right? But you still had the likes of Blake Miller, Monroe Freeland, Caleb Lamu, Max, whoever the guy is they picked up. I can't say his last name. I don't know. I'm not going to even butcher it.
Or something.
Yeah, you go, something like that. So the Steelers took him at 21. So you had options there to find yourself a right tackle. Who they have in the house right now is not it. In all honesty, they got a decent 4, but they're missing that 5, and missing a right tackle, which I know that's under the quarterback's blind side, but still, with a non-mobile quarterback, that's problematic to me. But they seem to have faith in guys that we don't necessarily think are high blue chip athletes. So I mean, it could work, but just name recognition alone doesn't move me anyway. So I would say that they definitely could have balked at the idea of picking Ty Simpson at 13 and getting the right tackle. And especially they thought they were going to be in the Myles Garrett business anyway, and they didn't trade any picks from this year. Obviously, they drafted their whole draft that then they traded for. So it wasn't like you were going to use those picks for Myles Garrett and you just holding them. It's one of those conversations where they didn't even need to do that. So, yeah, I'd have did that.
If I'm the Browns, stupid to not trade him before the draft. Why not get your draft capital this year?
Yeah.
Why wait a year?
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, maybe just to pick up the phone until after the fact, and making conversation. But either way, I wouldn't have done Ty Simpson at 13 in the first round. So that's just me. But yeah, so hopefully that right tackle doesn't come back and bite him. But if it does not, then they definitely one of the front runners in the NFC for sure. That is for sure. So I'm curious to see what you guys think about those. Who's gonna make the playoffs next year, this year too? Because that's coming up shortly. Because that's going to be in the conversation as well. Who lands where and who makes it? Because the NFC West is formidable, so is the North. Who's going to make it outside of that? So that's going to be a good one. Any final thoughts on this before we move on?
Forget the Rams.
I think he wants to say another F word.
Yeah, right. We'll save it for Patreon.
Yeah,
we'll save it for Patreon, indeed. So, okay, real quick, go around the room. What's the percentage of Aaron Donald comes back over DK?
I think it's pretty high for real. I think I'm looking at, I'd say about 80%. I think he's coming back.
80%. Dub?
I say about 40.
40? Okay. RG?
We'll go with Aaron Donald's old jersey number, 99.
Oh, wow. There it is.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah.
Damn.
I love the certainty. I love it. All right, AG, what you got?
I was going to give it a conservative 60.
Okay. I think getting Myles Garrett probably moved it to about 69, 70.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah, I think getting Myles Garrett makes it intriguing because again, I ain't got to play every down like we said. So it's intriguing. And we know he's in shape. I mean, hell, Jared Verse went to work out with him and he couldn't hang, and he's in the league. So, and he's younger.
And I was gonna say.
You saw the TMZ footage
on
Aaron Donald.
Training.
He's training. He was on the field training.
Oh yeah, at the facility.
Yeah, the facility.
Yeah, I saw it. Yep. Sure
Have you guys seen the story about Aaron Donald and the Make-A-Wish kid?
No.
Oh, dude. So I read this story about this Make-A-Wish kid. His Make-A-Wish was he wanted to work out with Aaron Donald.
Oh wow.
And so Aaron Donald took him for a workout, and this kid ended up throwing up.
Oh yeah.
Jared Verse threw up, and he's in shape. So if they're Make-A-Wish kid, they're typically sick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was like, bro, you didn't hold it back. Not even.
I know that. Yeah.
You ain't taking it easy on the kid at all. Damn. Okay.
What you throwing up for? I'm just kidding. You didn't say that.
We're going until we throw up, dog.
Wow.
You throwing up on my gym?
That's crazy. Yeah. Aaron Donald's a savage.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald's a savage. Okay. All righty. All right. We'll see. But we'll wait with bated breath to see if he comes back. We got 2 weeks to decide if he's going to be in training camp. Hell, he might not even do training camp. He might just come like the last week of training camp before the season starts to get on the roster. Who knows? But I will be sure that we'll be all here to break it down for you. That's for sure. That's a definite. So we'll be here to break all that down for you. All right. So let's move on to another interesting topic. I can't wait to hear y'all's opinion on this one. I've been waiting for this one. So we've gone through, I think we're about halfway through our offseason coverage, and we've been breaking down each team. So if you haven't checked those videos out, please do so on our YouTube channel. We're breaking down each and every NFL team, and this is our normal summer reviews. We're breaking down the whole entire offseason. We've gone through exactly what they've done in the offseason, what we like, what we didn't like. We give them a grade, what the outlook's going to be. So check those videos out if you have not done so. If whoever your favorite team is, we're covering them. If we haven't done it so, we will between now and training camp. So with that being said, all the moves that have been made in the offseason in regards to the trades, draft picks, free agency signings, even coaching signings in certain spaces, what do you guys feel like was the most underrated move of the offseason, and what was the most overrated move of the offseason? So let's start with DK. We're going to start with underrated. What do you think the most underrated move was for the offseason for you? That if any teammate, your team or anybody's team in the league, that is going to pay dividends for the team in the upcoming season?
I'm not even going to talk about my team. It's a couple of them I like, but I ain't going to say too much. I like that David Montgomery move to the Texans.
That's a good one. I like that move.
Like
yes.
They needed a solid running back on that team.
They did, and I think Woody Marks is good, but I think he needs a compliment. And I think that having a guy like David Montgomery is a good quality to have. And it's funny because I said that in my video. The Houston Texans video is live right now on our channel, so go check that out. It came out today, 6:00. So yes, I did say exact words that David Montgomery being a workhorse running back was going to be good for that offense. Yeah. Yes, I definitely agree with that.
That was a move. That was a move, underrated move. I really like, and I ain't really like. He was cool with the Lions, but him and what's his name? Yeah. They couldn't share the ball, so he needed to go ahead and move to another team. So I like that move for the Texans.
Okay, good stuff. All right, Deb, what you got over there? What's the most underrated movie you feel like for the offseason?
I don't know if it's underrated or not because people pretty much know about it, but I think maybe one of the most impactful moves is going to be AJ Brown. I love that move. Like I said, it's hard to call it underrated because everybody's on the lookout for it, but I think the value that they got and what they quote unquote had to give up or didn't give up is really what pushes that over the top. I think they got significantly better by adding him to the wide receiver room. And then of course they also added Romeo Doubs that people didn't realize. So both of those moves I think kind of pushed that over the top. Most overrated move.
Hold on. We're gonna go underrated. Then we're gonna come back around for that. We're gonna come back around for that. Okay, cool. So AJ Brown for you now, is that because he's out of your division now, or you just think it's gonna help the Patriots?
Both.
Okay, fair. That's fair. I'm with it.
Yeah. So I like it. Get him up out of there. I think it's good for everybody, to be honest. I think it worked for Philly. They got rid of something that they didn't really need, and it just worked for everybody across the board.
Okay, there it is. Okay, good stuff. All right, RG, what's your most underrated move of the offseason for 2026?
So I normally don't like praising this team because they are known to be cheap as hell, but they did a pretty solid job in attempting to revamp their defense this offseason. I like the Boye Mafe signing by the Bengals, and that one is the one that I'm choosing as the underrated signing.
Yes,
but they signed a bunch of people to that D-line. Dexter Lawrence they traded for, Jonathan Allen they signed. Again, added Boye Mafe to that mix as well. I'm choosing Boye Mafe, but I'm really just highlighting the entire overhaul of that defensive line. The Bengals, we always say it, offense and defense, it reigns true. You win in the trenches, and the Bengals are trying to overhaul a defensive unit that's been bottom two in the league 2 out of the last 3 years. Joe Burrow is finally, saying, holy hell, I'm going to potentially have somewhat of a defense for the first time since we went on our Super Bowl run. So, I like what the Bengals are doing in that aspect. I think that I like the effort. I always say that, I always say that talking about the Raiders. I like the effort in the moves that they made. It shows that, they are attempting to change their quote unquote cheap ways. I don't know if it'll be enough, but I think it's going to be a very underrated. If that defense, can rise from bottom barrel to even just average, I think the Bengals are going to turn a lot of heads next year.
I like that. As again, I'm a shameless plug to my video I talked about in the Bengals. I said the same thing. I think their defense is markedly better overall than what they did in the free agency and the draft over the last couple of years. I think the defense is much better. And I think Al Golding being there versus Lou Anarumo is going to be, should be a revelation. They should be better, at least enough to compliment Burrow enough where he don't got to win by shootouts. So, they got a, younger, more revamped pass rush. So I believe that if they do things right, Burrow stays healthy. Like Cool Kev just said, his toes and legs and all that kind of thing hold up. If he stays healthy, they should be able to be formidable in this league. And they got a tough schedule, but the offense is going to be legit. Obviously, the defense holds rank. They should be good. So I agree with you. That Boye Mafe move, replacing, Trey Henderson, air quote, with Shamar Stewart, where they had a holdover, and they drafted another kid. I think they drafted Cassius Howe. So they got a nice room there, and they had the interior D-line sold up, and they got Dexter Lawrence on top of that. So, yeah, they're going to be good. And they got 2 young linebackers to boot. So, the only thing that's questionable for me is their secondary.
They have Jonathan Allen, too.
Yeah, they signed Jonathan Allen.
Right.
He can be D-tackle.
They signed a safety from
Brian Cook.
from the Chiefs. Yeah.
There you go. So, yeah, they look better on defense, holistically, personnel-wise, from a defense perspective. So, yes, I think that should be a slam dunk move. I think Boye Mafe is going to flourish. Almost, Super Bowl champion, reigning Super Bowl champ. I mean, hell, got the experience, production. So
I was going to say they went after some championship pedigree, getting Cook and Mafe.
Agreed. So that's good stuff. So I definitely agree with that. That's a good take. All right, AG, what you got over there for underrated moves with offseason?
Yeah, I think my most underrated, and I don't know if it's underrated. I just feel like it was not really talked about.
But that's what we want to cover. Is it talked about or it's underrated? Yeah.
And maybe that's because it happened like in April and we're in July at this point. But I think it's the Eagles trading for Grenard with Minnesota and then extending him. Because I mean he was kind of he was a dog his last year in Houston, got traded to Minnesota, had 12.5 sacks. He only had 3 last year, but that's because he was hurt half the season. So, I mean, they traded for arguably still a premier edge rusher, extended him to, I think, like 4 years, $100 million. So, I mean, got a discount, only really gave up a 3rd-round pick. For a team that's already pretty damn elite on the defensive side of the ball, already has a lot of people that can get to the quarterback. For them to add someone of that pedigree, if he comes back healthy, for a relatively cheap move, I think is a pretty underrated move.
I like it. Good stuff. That's what's up. All right. So underrated moves for me, and again, another shameless plug to my Houston Texans video. I talked about this earlier today. I think the Caden McDonald draft pick in the 2nd freaking round to go to the Houston Texans, who are already super stacked on defense. You're just basically adding on, just piling gold on top of gold. So now not only they're only nasty up front from a starter perspective, they have depth now. So they got 3 good pass rushers. They got 3 or 4 good rotational D linemen, good linebacking core, great safety room. They got Reed Blankenship from the Eagles, another, former Super Bowl champion. So they're just trying to be a legendary, top 5 of all time defense, in that space. Having Caden McDonald in the mix, learning from D'Amico Ryans and that group, their positional coaches, and the incumbents they have with Sheldon Rankins and everybody else. So that Caden McDonald move, man, don't try to run the ball on the Texans. That's all I'm gonna tell you, because it's not gonna end well.
It's not gonna be able to do anything against that team.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And unfortunately, we got to play them this year yet again. Yeah, right. Unless CJ Stroud throw I said that exact thing in the video. I said, unless CJ Stroud turns the ball over, it's going to be real tough to play against that defense, to play against that team in general. So, yeah, I definitely share that sentiment. So, Cade McDonald, for me, is one of the most underrated moves in the drafting him to the Texans, because he fell, because we thought he was going 1st round. He fell out of the 1st round, ended up in the 2nd round, and guess what? He fell to all people, he fell to the Texans. Oh, crazy. Rich get richer. So, all right, so let's talk about overrated moves now. So, DK, what do you think the most overrated movie is of the offseason? Everybody hyped it up. Everybody thought it was great, but you don't think it's going to land?
I hate to say this because they're not going to be good, but I got to go with the Dolphins. That Malik Willis, that contract was kind of crazy. And they're not going to be good. So, it's like he just going to be out there.
What are we doing?
He'll be out there scrambling like crazy.
Be out there getting paid, DK. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, I'm about to say he took that check because
they're gonna pay me how much?
Right.
It's like, son, we're gonna pay you over $100 million. You're gonna get your ass beat, but we're gonna pay you a lot of money.
I'm about to say, is that O-line even nice? I'm like, he's gonna be scrambling like he was doing in Green Bay. So
at least he can do it. Like, he's not a statue. At least he can run. So get that credit.
He does have an arm too.
You don't want him running like that with all that money you paying him, though.
You're right, because he must it go bad on you. You know,
I don't even know who their backup is.
Is it still Ewers?
I think it's Ewers is the
still Quinn.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let's see what they say.
Yeah,
Ewers and Cam Miller.
Wow.
Okay. And then Mark Gronowski, not Gronkowski.
Gronowski? What?
That's a Madden generated name right there.
Yeah, Rusty Smith.
I was like, right. Oh man, yeah, that's brutal. Okay, yeah, but that's a great one though. That's definitely because they're going to be bad most likely. If they pick out the draft, they're going to likely try to take a quarterback. You would think.
Exactly.
So what does that mean? So
they give them like.
I think that the Dolphins made that move solely to avoid like tanking allegations. I think if they didn't do anything at quarterback and they just rocked their season
they
with
rolled
Quinn Ewers
out,
they would have 100% got. NFL would have stepped in and been like, all right, y'all.
Tampering investigation.
Wide receivers.
Nobody.
Let's
Remember they
see.
traded Waddle.
Malik Washington,
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the only one I know.
Jalen Tolbert, Tutu Atwell.
Oh man.
Can't forget about Tutu.
It's brutal out there.
Yeah, I mean it's a long-term play. I think they're banking on Jeremiah
Chris
and a
Bell.
few other.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So Tutu should be wearing the tutu because he weighs 150 pounds.
Yeah, I'm about to say he light.
Yeah. So he's not gonna hold up. So yeah, if you can rely on Tutu, I would be no more receiver. Good luck. But yeah, that's a good one, DK. I like that. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of somber moments in Miami in 2026. That's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay. All right, Dub, what you got for overrated moves for your perspective?
I hate to say this because I like him as a player and I like him as a person. But Odell, like Odell to the Giants.
Yeah.
I don't think that matters at all. Like it doesn't. Like I'm sorry, I just don't think that it makes any type of impact whatsoever, aside from a fan favorite. I think the time has passed. It might be nostalgic to see him in a Giant uniform, even though he'll have a different number. But
right.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's just I saw a whole bunch of, I guess, news, and maybe because it's an NFC East moves, I saw like a whole bunch of news clippings about it, or I guess rumble about it on social media, but I don't think it matters at all. Nobody's shaking in their boots worried about it.
Oh, you want to know something I read though? I heard that they're trying to cut Jalen Hyatt potentially so he can get their team back.
That's crazy.
That's not far-fetched, yeah.
So, Hyatt has not done anything, so
I know. Why? I don't know why.
98 speed Madden. All right,
that's
just
it.
tell him like, hey, no, we're gonna need you to change that jersey.
Like, hey, I'll be like, hey, can you say your name for me? What is it, Jalen Hyatt? I'm like, yeah, that's Odell Beckham. He's gonna have your number.
Y'all think OBJ gonna make the team?
I don't know. That's the question.
If he makes the team, John Harbaugh. I lose so much respect for you as a coach.
He's going back to his old coach, dude.
They got a lot of wide receivers there. But Neighbors hurt for real. So
Neighbors is definitely hurt. He had another surgery recently.
Yeah, so he's not, another surgery.
He might not play. He might not play 20 and 26 at all. So it might be a short-term plan.
He might be short.
Yeah. So
I think he makes the team. I think because they got a lot of mid. Like it's just like a lot of.
It is a lot of mid.
Anything.
Yeah, but how good is Odell? How many years has it been? 3, 4?
I mean, right now, without Malik Neighbors, their top 3 are Darius Slayton, Darnell Mooney, and Calvin Austin III.
Wow. Yes.
Those 3 are making the team.
Yeah. They got Malachi Fields. They drafted him. He's making the team.
Yeah,
Odell and Juju.
Odell and Juju?
Isaiah Hodgins. He ain't making it. Juju.
Okay. I mean, hearing that, I might say maybe not Odell making the team, only because if he did make the team, he would be 5th guy, and you're not gonna have Odell.
You don't want that,
So he probably won't. You know.
Well, he also has Greg Roman calling plays for him, so that's the thing.
Man, that's a coordinator.
Get ready for a curl route.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. He was on the Ravens for 1 year, wasn't he?
He did. He was.
He was on it.
He got like 2 targets a game.
Just forget about it because the Ravens don't use any of their wide receivers.
That part, yeah. At least in the Harbaugh era. So
literally, that's where they go to just have their career die. Dez, DeAndre.
Yeah, you name it. Okay. Good stuff. Oh yeah.
And I know this wasn't part of the question, but I think the Giants are the most overrated offseason more than anybody.
You think the Giants had the most overrated offseason?
Yes, I hated their offseason moves.
Okay.
I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Like, they blew it off. They had 2, whatever. I'm not going to get into it.
It's a lot of headline moves, you know. Like
I kind of like the Isaiah Likely signing. I ain't gonna lie, because he was always open. He was always open for some reason in Baltimore. So I feel like he'll go ahead and help quarterback out.
I give him that one. Like I said, the other moves, I don't like the Dexter Lawrence move. I don't like what they did with their 2 picks. Nothing.
I can't even give him that much credit for the Isaiah Likely move because that's just all Harbaugh.
It's all Harbaugh. You just follow Harbaugh.
Like, I give the Giants credit for signing Harbaugh, but
now that you say it, though, I'm like looking at this list of like, damn.
Yeah.
It's like they were just signing up free agents to trade them, you know, for draft.
Exactly.
Here's the guys who's gonna bring the training camp. This guy's here is dead.
Seriously, dude. Like, who is this guy?
Right.
Who?
Yeah, I like their defensive moves. I'm not sure if I'm in love with their offensive moves, but yeah, the defensive moves are pretty solid. I mean, getting Tremaine Edmonds over in free agency, Bobby Okereke, I like that.
Great.
You need a
I
linebacker.
you always like Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah, I have too. I mean, it's not a lot. 6'5", 250 pound, speedy linebackers walking around. So yeah, I definitely believe they did pretty good defensively. And I think defense is gonna be good for another year. But that's Harbaugh's, bags in a sense. But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do offensively at all with their play callers they got going on in that room. I just don't like it. So yeah, I would say that's an overrated move for me. That their play calling decision making that's bad.
They still got Thibodeau.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I can't believe they haven't traded him yet.
You're right, because
they traded Dexter Lawrence.
I know,
but Abel Reese.
They did.
They did. They took Arvell Reese. Tough. Yeah, they got. I mean, literally, they got. Arvell Reese, Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, and Thibodeau.
Yeah, they got.
Jesus,
that's insane.
Yeah,
he's going to send 4 defensive ends.
Right,
we're gonna run the psycho
NASCAR
formation.
NASCAR package.
Have DJ Reader standing up as the nose, and everyone else just run around.
You're right.
Everybody else see ball, get ball.
Just find an edge.
There you go. All right, good stuff. All right, RG, what's your most overrated move of the offseason?
Man, this one was easy, and I'm shocked it didn't get sniped from me. But it's DJ Moore to the Bills.
Oh,
I don't agree with this move at all. If you're a young quarterback like Drake May and you don't have any wide receivers whatsoever, you go get an AJ Brown. Yeah, he's a diva, but what, big wide receiver isn't or wasn't at some point in their career? That's just kind of the nature of the position. But you don't trade a first-round pick for a guy on the wrong side of 30 who has
pick.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
I'll take that back. Second round pick. Still, second round pick is that's a pretty high pick for a guy that has never put up even close to a type of season that AJ Brown did. And they're paying him, and I get it for Josh Allen. You're trying to get that big ticket wide receiver since Stephon Diggs left. And you're trying to recapture some of that offensive magic that you had when Stephon was there. But Moore is not fooling anybody. He's not prime Stephon. I think Moore is a great great's maybe taking it too far. I think Moore is a very good wide receiver. I do not think he is going to elevate this offense to some ethereal plane that Bills fans claim he will. Everybody's saying, oh, Josh Allen finally has, since Diggs is number 1 wide receiver. Like, I just don't think DJ Moore is going to be that guy. I think, and I hate to say this because I don't wish injury on anybody, but barring him getting injured, they're going to go right back to the same receiving core they had last season, and it's just going to be James Cook again. So I feel like they put all of their eggs in the DJ Moore basket, and it wasn't a very big basket to begin with.
Still got Keon Coleman.
Yeah, and they hate him.
Yeah.
They absolutely
they despise Keon Coleman.
Right. It's funny because they got DJ Moore, who's 6 foot, and they got a bunch of small, speedy slot receivers. But I do like Khalil Shakir, and I like the kid Skylar Bell. They drafted in the 6th round. Now, again, I'm not going to tell you why I like him right now. I've said it enough. But yeah, he's a playmaking slot. I think he'll be good for them as a slot. But again, you can't. I mean, unless you're going to run 4 wides every single play, how you going to put Shakir and Bell on the field at the same time? Because neither one of them can play outside. They're too small. So yes, I don't know how they make that dynamic work. But then still, I do like this talent. But how does it mesh with the offense? And what is Joe Brady going to look like as a head coach versus a coordinator or a play caller? So. That's a good one. That's definitely a good one. I will see. And to shoot DJ Moore a little bit of bell, he's 29. He's not 30 yet. So we'll give him a little bit of
30 when the season starts?
Maybe. He's 29 at this moment, though. At this very moment, he's 29. Okay. At the time of this video, he's 29. So, but we'll see. We'll see. But, yeah, I mean, again, we'll see how the production they get out of him. I mean, he still put up decent numbers when he was in Chicago. So, we'll see. We'll see. All right, AG, what you got for the most overrated moves of the 2026 offseason?
Yeah, I think the one there's a few. I think the one I want to highlight is the Panthers signing Jalen Phillips to a massive contract.
That was on my list.
I mean, they signed him to 4-year, $120 million contract, and I get why they did it, because they were a playoff team. They need to make moves to take that next step. But to me, this type of move was like the move you see the Panthers of old make, like just pay someone money just because they're available, and it get fans excited, but it's not going to amount to anything. And I think that's what Jalen Phillips is. I mean, he was, I don't remember where he was taken. I think like top 15 pick in the draft. Has never produced double-digit sacks in a season, never produced double-digit tackle for losses, and he is he's played 3 full seasons. So he has big injury concerns, and they paid him all that money to, again, not get any of that type of production out of him that's going to warrant the check they're writing him.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious about that because they drafted 2 pass rushers last year's draft, Nick Scrouton and Prince Umani, whatever his last name is, a long last name, I can't pronounce it. But yes, they drafted Princely and Nick last year. But again, maybe he's there to take the reins and kind of groom them for the future. But it was the going rate because Adafe always got the similar contract, and he played less, from a career perspective than Jalen Phillips did. And they both got over $100 million contract, just to be pass rushers. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to deploy that. With Derrick Brown in the middle, then they got another DT in the free agency. They got a pretty good, solid defense as a unit. But it's just what Jalen Phillips' production going to be is a question. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay. All right, for me, and it sound like hate, but y'all, I'll explain it when I say it. I feel like the Jalen Waddle trade is overrated move.
I knew you were going to pick this one.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah. I think the move was definitely an overrated move of the offseason. Everybody's saying that that's the last piece they need to kind of get over the hump to make it to the Super Bowl, which I don't agree with. I think that the Broncos were blessed by a litany of luck when it came out of the schedule last year. Yes, the defense is legit. They did lose a couple of pieces in the offseason. That's problematic, number one. So defense is going to be good. Not going to be Texans level. It's going to be good. But the offense, to me, it all hinges on Bo Nix. And I'm not sure Bo Nix is the guy they think he is. At least Broncos fans think he is. And again, all the backup quarterbacks they played last year in the soft schedule they had to play last year in a lot of spaces, they were in 12 one-score games despite playing backups. They just happen to be, on the better side of it. And in no shade to the Chiefs, AG, but you saw with them winning a bunch of one-score games in one season did, how the flip side of the next season, it didn't turn out the same way. They had a rough season. So that could literally be in line for the Broncos this year because everybody's aware of them now. Everybody has their radar on them because they were literally one game away from the Super Bowl. So, everyone want to argue that Bo Nix could have played, they could have won the game. Who knows? I don't think so, but it is what it is. But I think that not only the fact that their defense could take a smidgen step back because it won't be as formidable. I think that the offense is going to hinge on Bo Nix, and they changed their freaking play caller. Why did they do that? Sean Payton is not calling plays for them no more.
I think they didn't want to lose Davis Webb.
I agree, but again, you are on the precipice of you go out and get Jalen Waddle. You're on the precipice of going to try to go into the Super Bowl, and you're changing the guard from a play caller perspective. And let's be honest, if he doesn't work out, he doesn't hit the ground running or Bo Nix's ass, for the first 3 or 4 games, Sean Payton's gonna take the reins back. So then you got to figure that part out and get back accustomed to him calling plays. So I don't think this particular gamut is going to work. I don't think Jalen Waddle is going to move the needle for them to be better, that much marketably better in 2026 for my money. I just don't think him coming in is going to change the guard. I think it really hinges on Bo Nix because again, who the receiver on this team, and he got some players. He's got Troy Franklin, Cortland Sutton, Mims. You got great tight ends. I mean, come on. He had the weaponry already. He had enough to be the guy. It's just you just wasn't, in my opinion. So I think that's the most overrated move for me, in my perspective. So I will see how the Waddle move, works out early on in the season. But it's a lot of things that are brand new to this team in 2026 that shouldn't have changed, in my opinion. I think it should have ran it back with Peyton calling plays and let him make this particular offense work. But we'll see. We will see. What Ace Boogie say? John Elway carried the Broncos to 3 Super Bowl appearances in the first 8 seasons, so-called the best quarterback in NFL. Currently, Josh Allen hasn't been to 1 Super Bowl in 8 seasons. You read? That's a good point. That's a good point. That is a great point. So well, can't much say much. And they rated Josh Allen the #1 quarterback in the league Most people rated this year. It was a one big outlet put a rating out this week, and then Josh Allen was 1, Patrick Mahomes was 2, I think Stafford was 3. So yeah,
Crazy.
Coach, I'm going to tell you again. It's at that point in the offseason.
Yeah. People just need something to talk about.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
You're right. If people need something to talk about, I need something to get some clicks. But I just shook my head at that list. It was a wild list, but.
I saw on Mahomes too. Somebody had him as low as 9. I'm like, on what?
That's
in
insane.
What universe is there 8 quarterbacks, let alone even 3 better than Mahomes that you can even make the argument for? That's just blasphemy.
I'll give you one even better than that. In the top 100, they moved Lamar from 2 to 68 in one season.
69.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's
insane. You went from 2 to 69. That's crazy.
Crazy.
He didn't fall off the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, he didn't just suddenly get old. He just had a bad injury season.
You know, Sam Darnold's going to be ranked ahead of him, right?
He is easily. I mean, he won the Super Bowl for God's sakes. I mean, he has to be. If you're going to,
he's not even. Lamar's not even going to be a top 10 QB in the list of 100 players.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And to be 2 last year, you know, and this is ranked. This is the players ranking. This is not even like fans or coaches.
But this is why it's such a incredibly flawed system, because they do this voting in December, so the season's not even done yet. They do this at week 12, so it's incredibly biased and skewed to what's going on at that current point, and injuries play a massive part of it, unfortunately.
Agreed.
The best ability is availability, and if you're not playing, you get quickly forgotten. The league moves on.
That's for sure. And quickly. I mean, like, it wasn't even 6 months. It's like, you're out of here, buddy. Yep. You forget your MVPs. You forget the one you got snubbed on. None of that shit matters. You're trash. You're trash. That's crazy. Yeah, so that's interesting. And I think Lamar should take that personal. And he got a new head coach, new play caller, you know, new weapons, finally got some receivers. I would definitely take that personal and make everybody in the league pay for that one.
I think we're going to see a Lamar resurgence.
I agree.
I do too.
I agree. I mean,
he's got the OC he has now is from the Ben Johnson coaching tree.
He is Declan Doyle.
We're gonna see a lot more creative stuff than what old Todd Stumpkin Mumpkin was doing. That's why they send him to Cleveland to die.
Right. There you go. There you go.
Here's your head coaching job.
Yeah, right. Well, that's a great segue. So let's talk about our last segment of the day, shotgun predictions. So we're gonna do some way too early predictions about the 2026 campaign. Who's in, who's out, who's making the playoffs, who's not. Let's start with the NFC. All right, DK, who you got making the playoffs out of the NFC? Give me 7 teams.
You said the NFC?
NFC, yeah, we'll start with the NFC. Mm-hmm.
Let me take a look. I mean, of course, the Niners.
Of course. Yeah, that's already guaranteed. Are the Niners winning the division?
I can't say until after week 1.
Okay, all right. Okay, fair enough.
Let's see. We got the Niners. The Rams gonna make the playoffs, of course.
Okay.
Shoot.
That's 2.
Guess you gotta throw the Seahawks in there to defend the champions.
So that's 3. That's 3 out of the division.
That's 3 out of the division already.
Yeah.
So then let's go to the NFC East.
Yeah, who winning the division?
I'm gonna say, dang, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna say the Eagles.
Okay. Who's winning the North? Who's winning the North?
I'm gonna go with the. Can I give you a hot take about that division?
Yes, please.
I do not have the Bears making the playoffs this year.
Wow.
Damn.
Where's the alarm?
I'm trying to find it. Hold on.
Remember what I said.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I do not have the Chicago Bears making the playoffs.
Wow.
This season last year was a little too fluky. There's too many comeback wins.
Oh, man.
I don't want to bring up Mike Dubb's team, but we've seen it before with Jaden Daniels when he had all them wins late in the next year. It just faded. So, and the Chicago Bears got the toughest schedule in the NFL. So
yeah, they do.
Just be on the lookout.
Okay. Bears not making playoffs. Okay, so who
Bears not making playoffs? So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it to the Lions.
Okay.
To take that.
Wow, worst to first. All right.
Yeah, right.
You know, they always injured. I feel like they'll get it together. NFC South.
Roll some dice.
Yeah, that's that's all I'm about to say. Rose.
That's a crapshoot.
I don't even
Close your eyes and pick.
Yeah.
Meanie.
Right.
I wouldn't trust none of them teams in NFC South. So
don't let Saints fans hear you.
Yeah, I heard,
they'll swear up and down.
I heard y'all had issues with the Saints fans.
Oh, we got beef. We got beef.
Yeah, man. The Saints fans hate
Saints
me,
fans
man.
got smoked.
Actually, keep saying it. Keep saying it. It'll get the views up. Get them popping in here.
Right. They're gonna come out like Candyman.
Right, exactly.
QB 33 by the time the season's said and done.
Saints fans, that's crazy.
Yeah.
If I got to pick though, shoot, it might. I mean, the Bucks didn't make the playoffs last year, did they?
They did not.
They did not because the Panthers.
By the tiebreaker,
yeah. They had 3 teams go 8-9.
Right,
Yeah.
and the Panthers won by tiebreaker, but they lost to the Bucks in the last game of the season.
Yeah, exactly. Lost it, but
Right.
but what's crazy is they should have beat the Rams in the playoffs. They had that game locked up. They
did. Screwed it up.
folded. So I might just go with the Panthers again for the NFC
Okay,
side.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 6 teams. So give me one more out of any of those divisions.
Let me see. Oh,
Packers, Commanders, Cowboys. I know you can pick the Cowboys. You hate them.
Nah, I'm not picking the Cowboys. I'm not picking Commanders either. I guess I can say I'll go ahead and say the Packers.
Okay. All right. Okay. So 3 teams out of the West. You got the Panthers making the division, the Lions win the division, Packers wild card, and you got the Eagles winning the division in the East. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Okay. All right, Dub. What you got over there in for the NFC? Starting with division. Who's winning the division?
All right, so let me start in the West. I got LA winning the West. The South. Who's in the South too? I got who do I have winning the South? Let's go with Carolina.
Okay.
Let's go with Carolina winning the South.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got? The North.
Yep.
NFC North, Green Bay.
Okay.
And the NFC East. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Philly. With Philly. And then what do we have?
3 wild cards.
3 wild cards.
Yep.
All right, 3 wild cards. I definitely think there's one coming out the North. You know what? Actually, no. I'm not gonna go. It's definitely one coming out the West with the Seahawks. That's one.
Okay.
I think there's one coming out of us. I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna say the other 2 will be us and Dallas.
Wow.
Oh wow. Wow.
The NFC East.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie. I like Dallas's team, man.
Look at DK. He was taking notes.
Write it down.
I can't even hate, man. Like I can't even hate on Dallas's team. I do agree with DK with the NFC North. I think that the Bears take a slight step back. I do think Detroit is still trying to figure things out. Minnesota, not sold on them either.
At all.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got one team out of the NFC North. That was the one that I was struggling with, was the NFC North. But yeah, other than that, I will say I think Dallas gets in, whether it be a wild card or they contend for a divisional championship. You know, it's not a fan of them, but I can't hate on their moves. I like their offense last year clearly, and I think they got better on defense this year. So I definitely think that they're in.
Okay. So you got 3 coming out your division, 2 coming out the West, and 1 out of the North and South. Right, right.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Okay. All right. You heard it here first, gentlemen. All right. All right, RG. What you got in NFC on side? Who's winning the divisions first? Give me the division winners and the wild cards.
Yeah, they're gonna have a field day with my picks.
Oh boy.
Hell yeah.
All right. NFC West. Give me the Rams.
Okay.
NFC South. Give me the Falcons. NFC North. Give me Detroit.
Wow. Okay. The Lions. Okay.
Give me New York.
Wow.
Whoa. He said the New York Giants.
He said the New York Football Giants are winning the East.
Whoa.
Wow.
It's a hardball guy right there.
I'm going with my gut. I don't know why. I think John Harbaugh is just going to absolutely turn that division on its head. The Giants have just been kind of pushovers for the last, 5 years or so.
Longer than that.
And longer than that. Although I think they did make the playoffs in 2020, so that's why I say 5 years, because you make the playoffs, you can't be a pushover. But ever since then, it's just been a steep decline for the Giants year in and year out. I really do think Harbaugh gets this team back on its feet, kind of shocks the world, goes worst to first. And so, yeah, I got New York winning the East.
Wow.
Got Philly coming out of the East as well as one of my wild card teams.
Okay.
I got Chicago as my other wild card team. And I got the Niners as my last wild card team. I think Seattle misses the postseason entirely.
Oh, they go from Super Bowl champions to not making the playoffs. Wow. Yep. Okay.
Tell them again, RG.
Yep. Okay. Okay. All right.
That hangover going to hit hard.
Yeah, you're right about that. It hits a lot of people, and definitely from that perspective. Sometimes they don't make the playoffs at all. It's a long history of that, actually. So yeah, we'll see. That's a good one though. Damn, that's a good one. Giants making it with a division. Wow. Okay. All right, AG, who you got in the NFC? Who's winning the divisions? Start there.
Yeah. So starting the North, I got the Lions winning the North.
Okay.
I'm with RG on that one. East, I got the Cowboys.
Ooh.
Pulling off the division title.
Wow. Okay.
In the South, I got the Panthers back-to-back years and winning the South.
Okay.
West, I think, is the Rams. Okay. And then my 3 wild card teams, I swapped one of these and just thinking about it, but I got the Bears, the Bucks, and the Niners.
So I also the team that you swapped.
No, I swapped the Bucks for the Eagles. I said, you know what? F the Eagles. They ain't making it.
There it is. I found my drops now, so we good. So y'all AFC picks gonna be hot. Y'all gonna be fire. I'm gonna let y'all know that. I found my drops. We good.
Yeah, I already had the Seahawks not making it. I agree with that. I think Kubiak leaving, I think where it's gonna expose some stuff. They got a stellar defense, but I think people are going to start scheming for some of the stuff that they were doing this last year with them and Wari and some of that creative looks they were given, to where it's going to have to be a lot more of Sam Darnold, like, go win us the game. And he's not that guy. Sorry.
I share that sentiment. And I think that this is one of those nerdy football takes that I have every so often. So I'm going to give you another one here. When you have a newness, I guess something introduced new into the league, and it kind of catches people off guard for 1 year. But when you have a full offseason to do nothing but dissect what they did over the course of a season, that gives you time to come up with schemes that are going to be allowed for you to be able to counter what they do so well. And you kind of figure out what they do in real time. So that gives you time to, basically, do all types of, adjustments and things that can counter what they do well. So, yes, I do believe that people are going to be watching that intently and say that we're going to not only be prepared for it, we're going to know how to beat it. So, yeah, I definitely agree with they're going to want to have more problems than they did in 2025. I agree with that for sure. Okay. All right, mine kind of lame. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, because y'all dropped all kind of big time bombs on these takes. Because I'm with DK. I think 3 teams coming out of the West. I think the Rams will go win the division. I think the Seahawks and Niners will come out. I think their defense and just the talent they have in the general should be too good for them not to make the playoffs. It might be a 7th seed, but they still should make it. I got the Eagles winning the East. I got the Bears winning the North. I got the Panthers winning the South. I think we're all on that train. And of course, I said the Rams winning the West. So I got Eagles, Bears, Panthers, Rams, Cowboys, Seahawks, and 49ers. So yeah, that was my takes for the NFC. So let's talk about AFC now, DK. Who you got coming out of the AFC? Let's start with the division winners. Tell me who you got winning the division in the AFC.
All right, so let's start with the AFC East. I got the Bills winner.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you another hot take.
Uh-oh. Let me get my drop ready.
The New England Patriots will not make the playoffs.
Ooh. You got a dual Super Bowl hangover.
Super Bowl teams in certain aspects are not making the playoffs.
They're not making the playoffs. I'm not seeing it. Seeing it.
Okay.
Let's go AFC North. Ooh, that's tough. I'm not, my hatred for the Ravens is top notch, but I'm gonna say the Ravens win that division.
Okay.
I'm not sold on that division. AFC South, the division getting a little tougher for the Texans, but I'm gonna still say the Texans come out on top. Their defense is just top notch. You can't beat that.
All right, so with 3 AFC West fans in here, who you got winning the West?
Come on now.
West? I know. Y'all looking at me like, what's going on here?
Don't say the one.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the Raiders. It's like, nah.
I'm logging off.
Yeah. All right.
It's like, nah.
It's been real.
I'm gonna go ahead and say the Broncos take the West. I mean,
wow.
DK, it's been real.
DK, you had 2 correct choices and 2 incorrect choices. And you
I know, right?
Incorrect choices.
Both of them. Dude. That 1-2 jab.
You're right.
One of y'all not gonna make the playoffs though. I'm not giving y'all 3 in that division.
That's
okay.
fair.
Spoiler alert, I'm not either.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say nothing. I wasn't gonna say nothing. Okay. So we got Broncos winning divisions, Texans, we got Ravens, we got Bills. So who's the wild cards?
So the wild cards, I'm gonna go with I feel like the Bengals at some point they gotta show up.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put the Bengals on there. I'm gonna go with another team from the South. That division is sneaky kind of nice. I'm gonna go with I will go with my boy Robert Saleh, but I don't think they're ready. So I'm gonna go with the Jaguars.
Okay.
I think they're nice.
Okay.
So one more team. Whoo. That's tough. It's a debate between y'all 2 teams. But sheesh, I might gotta go with the Chiefs.
Wow.
I think he might. I think Pat might be back. I think he might be back.
I'm thinking he's back.
No. I mean, he's back.
All right, John Wick.
I'm thinking he might have a little resurgence.
Okay.
You know, Travis Kelce got married. You know what I'm saying? They this might be the end of his road, so they trying to just go ahead and go out and, you know, show up. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Chiefs. I know Chargers fans. I know y'all ain't trying to hear that.
No, you gonna hear in the comments, I'm sure. I am sure of that. Okay, so you got your wild cards are the Bengals, the Jags, and the Chiefs.
Yes.
Okay. All right, bet. All right, Dub, talk to me. What's the AFC division winners?
Division winners, I have Baltimore, Kansas City.
Wow. Okay.
Hey,
I'm gonna go with
Hell yeah, Dub.
I'm gonna go with where we at the East, Buffalo.
Yeah.
And in the South, Houston.
Okay.
Yeah, let them cook.
Wild cards, going Chargers.
Thank you.
He's cooking. Let him cook.
Yeah.
I'm going Patriots.
Okay.
And last wild card spot, I'm going Bengals.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good solid list, Dev. I can't hate on that list at all. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, RG, let's hear it. Who won the division?
All right, I got Buffalo coming out of the East.
Mm-hmm.
I got. Oh man.
Let me get my drop ready. Hold on.
Just rip it.
I got Cincinnati coming out of the North.
Damn.
Why not?
Damn. Okay.
The hell not. I got Houston coming out of the South.
Mm-hmm.
And do I even need to say it? Who's coming?
Of course. We already know. Who's winning the West this year?
Ain't even a question. As far as wild cards, give me Baltimore.
Okay.
Give me KC.
Okay. Much as it pains you to say it, go ahead and say it. I know you're going to hate to say it. You don't want to say it, but go ahead.
Give me Jacksonville.
It is. There it is. We know you have no love for Trevor Lawrence, but you got to be objective as an analyst.
I do. Yeah, you have no idea how badly I wanted to pick like Indianapolis or something, just to spite them.
Right.
I can't. I gotta have some integrity.
I understand. I appreciate that for sure. All right, AG. What you got over there? Who's winning the division first and foremost? Outside of the West.
So North, I got Baltimore winning the division with Minter, little resurgence, like I said. East, I got the Bills, coming back to the forefront a little bit. I got the Texans winning the South, and then obviously I think we all know who I'm picking.
That's not a
win
no
AFC West. I will say though, when I originally put this, I did put the Chargers, and I was like, you know what? Those boys aren't going to be objective like that. You're not going to think about it that way, so I'm flipping it.
You know us so well.
You're not going to take the high ground, huh?
No, I said, nah, I'm naming my team first. That's what we're doing. Okay. But yeah, those are my division winners. In terms of wild card, I got the Bengals, the Pats, and the Chargers. So,
okay.
Yeah, no Broncos love. Nah. No Jacksonville. I think
mutual hate.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm ready to hear it in the comments, but I'm not sold on all that. So, they're gonna get a taste of what the media had said about the Chiefs last year.
Yeah.
Like you talked about 2 years ago, they won like every one-score game, got to a Super Bowl, and then the next year is like, well, yeah, we could have known this was going to happen. Look at their last year. So I'm ready to hear all that as the Broncos go. Whatever, 4 and 13.
We kept receipts. Kept receipts. Yes, we kept receipts. Okay.
I pray for a 4 and 13 season for them.
That'll be wonderful. That'd be right down there with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Right down there with the Raiders. Okay. All right. For me, the AFC East, of course, the Bills I got to win in. I got the Ravens winning the South. The North. Excuse me. I got the Texans winning the South. I got the Chargers winning the West. Actually, ironically, I got the Patriots coming out as the wild card. Wow. Although DK doesn't believe they're going to make the playoffs at all. I got the Chiefs also making it as a wild card, and the Jags being the last wild card team, and the Broncos not making the playoffs at all. Like I said, that water move does not move the needle, and I think they're going to take a huge step back. So we'll see.
Did any of us pick the Broncos?
No, I don't think none of us did.
Hell yeah.
DK took him to win the division.
Yeah, he took him to win the division. As a matter of fact, yeah.
God. Damn, I forgot all about that because then Dub said the Chiefs right after. So
yeah, right.
Wait, Mike, who were your 4 division winners? It was Chiefs, Texans.
You got the Bengals winning the North, didn't you?
Yeah, the Bengals.
Yeah. So you got the Bengals.
No. I'm sorry. No, I had Baltimore. I had Bengals as a wild card.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Got it. Boom. There it is.
Well, a lot of y'all have Bengals as a wild card. I don't see it being too far fetched that they can win the division.
I don't have them making the playoffs at all. I don't have them making the playoffs at all in my list.
Oh, really?
Early,
some very interesting conversation about Joe Burrow.
Barely, but they're not making the playoffs.
I can see you barely.
Right. Barely. Yeah, I don't think they make the playoffs in my list. It's too stacked in the AFC in my opinion, but we'll see.
Oh, they don't make the playoffs. Taylor's gone.
Oh yeah, he's done.
Yeah, exactly.
I said that. I said that in my video. I said if they don't make the playoffs, they're on the bubble for me. But if they don't make the playoffs, he's done. There's a clear overhaul in
he should have been done last year if we're being honest.
He should have done 2 years ago. They made the playoffs last 3 years. What are we talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he's done after this year if he doesn't make the playoffs. Yeah. Okay. All right, gentlemen. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up here? We get into outro.
Man.
Are these set in stone, or we still got a chance to alter?
This is way too early predictions, RG.
Yeah, right. So
I said some wild shit. I don't know if
we keep receipts, right?
I'm gonna be able to back it up.
I stand by my statement.
You will be confronted with all this later in
I'm gonna
the
be
year.
hit with a clip farm later on, like
you with your lockdown defense rights. Anything you say on this show can and will be used against you. All right.
I'm gonna clip that Bears statement and send it to my boy. That's a Bears fan.
Yeah.
You're first.
Indeed. But yes, I will give us a chance to revisit this at the end of training camp before we start our live shows for the season because injuries will happen. Things could change. So I'm going to give you another chance. But this is the way too early ones. So just to get the conversation going. So we'll see about how we really feel about it when training camp gets rolling. So we'll readdress it and assess it. And those will be locked in, though. Once we do the ones at the start of the season, we're going to lock those in for the end of the season review.
Before like a Cam Scadaboo injury is the reason why I hop on the Giants.
Right.
I'm gonna look for any and all excuse.
Right. Cam Scadaboo injury in a
they're gonna release Odell and he's like, well, I thought Odell was the missing piece. I can't go with that now. He didn't even make the team.
Oh man. I'm out. Y'all, I'm out. I'm out.
I was all in on the Giants when Odell was
stock. Until Odell was gone.
Right. Sell my stock. I'm out. Indeed. All right. Good stuff, gentlemen. Great show as always, man. So, if you're looking for the Lockdown Diva Sports Network in any space, we are on Patreon now, and we have a big announcement coming up here. We have an interview coming to Patreon in the next couple of days, a really massive interview, one of our biggest interviews that we've had on the network to this date is coming here soon lately. I'm not going to spoil it, but trust me and believe me, you want to sign up for Patreon today. There's a free 7-day trial for paid members. Sign up today. You can get privy to that interview, and you can check out all our content we give for paid members. It is definitely worth the investment, so please sign up today. Get in on the action because a 7-day trial will not last forever. So get in on the action while you can. It is a great interview coming up. It is going to be good. So check our socials for information on that soon once the episode comes out, but it will be exclusively on Patreon for at least a week. So check that out. If you want to catch it early, it's going to be a good one. So I'm definitely going to tell you, you're going to love it. So sign up for Patreon today. But as always, if you're looking for the Lockdown Diva Sports Network in any space at any time, we can be found on YouTube, of course. Please hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel to support our podcast movement. Follow us on all social media platforms for all NFL, all 32 content. We can be found on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch for live shows, and Gmail. So please get at us for all things pro football. But in the meantime, between time, that is young RG Robert Garcia. That is the real AG Alex Gibbons. That is Coach Mike Dub. That is Air Retro DK5. And myself, Coach Defense. We are out of here, and we will see you on our next live show. But until then, you got to do one thing, and one thing well. You got to step up to lock it down.